The Small Business Council right now. On the roundtable this week, Cristi Cristich, president of Cristek Interconnects. Their business is electrical connections for smart weapons, space applications and biomedical devices. And we also have David Greenspon. He is president and owner of Competitive Edge Advertising Specialty Manufacturing, which is a corporate apparel company. Miss Cristich, great to have you on the show today. Tell us a little bit about your business and how you see things next year.
Well, we sell primarily to the military, aerospace, and the medical markets, and we see a solid year. Not sexy, but a solid year, minimum of 5% growth, and maybe as much as 20.
So better than next year? Sorry, better than this year?
This year, a little bit better than this year. We saw some modest growth this year.
What about you, David?
Well, I think this year, 2011, is going to be a real positive year. I'm hoping for maybe as much as 25% growth based on some of the things we've done here in 2010.
Like what?
We've gone out, well, I was going to get there, but basically we acquired a couple companies. We've added several pieces of new equipment. We'll be doing more signage and more UV printing. We've added some large format banner printing equipment, and we've also bought a plastic bag company, which we expect to continue to grow from its current base of business, which is substantially greater than our current base of business, and hopefully see it double its sales next year.
Ms. Cristich, are you concerned at all about all the talk in Washington about cutbacks?
Hey, Mark, I say bring it on. You know, the government, somehow when people get into government, they forget what our parents taught us about money not growing on trees. So I would really love to see them have to go out and live within their means like all of us private families and small businesses have to do.
Even if it affects your business?
You bet. You know, my one caveat to that, Amanda, is that I think it's really important, and it's very tempting for them to play politics, and we're going to have some very adult conversations that go beyond sound bites relative to entitlement programs and some of those sacred cows that are out there. So as long as we have those kinds of conversation and there are no sacred cows, I'll take whatever medicine comes our way.
Oh, we're off onto an interesting sidebar here, but let's continue it. David, you feel the same way?
Well, I think, you know, the budget obviously has not been presented to anybody at this time, but I think that there will be significant cutbacks in various government entitlement programs, as she said, and I think that it will directly affect some of our business markets. We are, you know, do quite a bit of business with the Army, and we do some stuff with Head Start and grant programs like the highway safety and things of that sort. So I think there will be significant cutbacks. I know that government, for me, has always been a big part of our business. And we're hopeful that we've got some of the segments that will get, you know, good funding.
Sorry?
Ms. Cristich, I don't want to get too arcane here, but I'm curious. Your business is electrical connections, where you don't actually sell components, you sell connections. How does that work? I'm sorry.
Well, we actually design and build connectors, cable assemblies, electronic boxes that would be used in military and medical types of systems. So we do design and build hardware, Mark.
Okay, so you're not just making plugs that are spliced onto the end of somebody else's box.
Oh, absolutely not.
Okay. All right.
I'm interested in whether either of you are looking to hire next year and whether or not some of the you know, changes in terms of favorable payroll tax changes are going to be incentives for you to hire more. David?
Well, I think, you know, for the most part, by acquiring some of the business that we did last year, we did hire quite a few people. I think we're probably almost 30 people more than we started the year with. And my hope is we'll absorb those people in and find a home for them and maybe get better utilization out of the staff we have. Certainly, we'd love to add people, but you don't want to add people for the sake of adding labor. I mean, right now, every person, every hand on deck needs to be very productive. And I think that's how you sort of turn a company into a very profitable machine. And I think we need a lot of profits right now in this country for these companies to grow and evolve and offer jobs maybe on the latter side of the year.
Okay, so it doesn't look like it's going to be something for a near term.
I'd like to hear Ms. Cristich's answer to the same question. Is the payroll tax holiday a meaningful change?
No, absolutely not. You know, we did hire this past year because we went against the grain and borrowed money to do an expansion facility. So we added a few jobs in 2010, and we definitely have some key openings coming up in 2011. But that only has to do with our prospects of more top-line revenue that we feel like we're going to be able to capture, not to do with any payroll tax holidays.
What would you have preferred to see instead of the payroll tax holidays, Cristi? Like, what would be an incentive for you out of Washington to hire more?
You know, I don't really look to Washington to take care of my business. I look to Washington to stay out of my business, and that's a big incentive. The less they seem to impose, the more successful we're able to be. So I do welcome, of course, the extension of the tax cuts. That does help us as a sub-S company, and actually what we expect to save by keeping in that tax bracket. We probably will have 2 extra jobs that we could fund that we'd otherwise had to pay taxes to Uncle Sam.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you both very much. Appreciate it.